Welcome. In Revit, often you need to establish a column grid. Almost all architecture is based on a structural system of some kind. And in Revit, if you think about Revit as a design, a building design tool, you should think about it in the form of stages of construction, right? So before you can place walls, you must create structure. And so column grids is one of the first places we start after we've finished programming and planning. So column grids is actually really, really simple, but there's some tips that I'm going to provide you that will prevent some problems in the future. So under the architecture tab, far right hand side, you'll see something called grid. And so you're going to select that. And there's multiple options, line, curve, pick lines, multi-segments, etc. But and again, it can be very complicated, but I'm going to keep it as simple as I can. So I'm going to start with my vertical grid. And so I'm going to click once and drag down. Now notice I've been playing with this model, so it's thinking that there's multiple. This is number 5, but it's actually number 1. So there's number 1. And instead of drawing a bunch of others, if I already know the frequency if I already know the frequency which I want these columns to exist, I'm going to select the column and use the array tool. And my options are a linear array, a radial array, group and associate, number, move to the second, move to the last. So I'm going to do the radial array. Linear array. And I'm going to click from the first point using the move to second. Click to the first point, and I know that I want a 30-foot column spacing. So I select 30 feet, and it says, okay, well, how many do you want? Actually, I wanted 5. So I'm going to select 5, and then there's my column grid. Notice that auto-located or auto-named the grid line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You also know that there's a dashed line here. That's intended so that if you wanted to go back and edit this group or add more numbers, you can do that pretty easily. But if you want to manipulate these things individually, you'd have to either edit the group or ungroup them. So I'm going to repeat that process for so those are the vertical grid. I'm going to repeat the process for the horizontal grid. So I'm going to start here and move to the left. Now, it thinks I want to continue that, but I actually want to relabel this A. So I want the numbers at the bottom and the alphanumeric characters, the alphabet characters at the top, at the left. So same process though. I'm going to use array, and I'm going to use the array tool. Click from first point to second point, right? And again, 30 feet. And I know I want 5 of those, and there we go. So now I have column grid 1 through 5 and column grid A through E. Now notice that these don't reach, right? So here's, I'm going to edit this group, and something you'll notice is all I have to do is pull this line up and then hit finish, and all the lines with it because it is part of that group. So super handy. Grids are very, very simple. You can do radial grids. Anywhere you expect to have a column or load-bearing member, such as a wall, that's where a grid line needs to be. So that's really it. It's super simple. This might be my shortest video ever, and since I'm not one to do short videos, I'm going to show you, well, at least not super short. I'm going to show you a very fast way of placing columns. So in the architecture tab under column, instead of the architectural column, we're going to choose structural column. And there's some things to pay attention to. What size of the column. If this isn't the W shape or the column size that you want, you'd have to load a family prior to. This is going to be fine for me. I'm going to look at my options. Instead of depth, I'm going to do height. And instead of unconnected, I'm going to do level 2, so that if I change the height, the column will go with it. And most importantly, I can select each intersection and place manually, or I can do @grids, and this is the one that's going to save you a bunch of time. So I'm going to do @grids. I'm going to select all the grid lines, and what you'll notice is there's a little preview. It's selecting a W shape and putting it at the intersection. So in a really quick step, a really fast way anyway, I should say, of adding columns to grid lines associated with associated in the center of those grid lines. So I didn't have to place, 25 individual columns. I simply chose the column, chose the grid, and it placed those 25 at the grid for me. Very helpful, I think. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, please like and share it with others. If you're not already a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to my channel by selecting the profile picture below. This will take you to my channel with videos like these and many others on topics such as REVIT, SketchUp, Analog Tools, and videos such as these in the playlist next to you that are specific to this topic. Have a great rest of your day.